My Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, our special guest today, my Lord Justice Olukayode Ariwola, Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger. Your Excellencies, my dear brothers and friends, men of courage, men who are prepared to do anything that is right, the Governor of Benue State, the Governor of Abia State, the Governor of Enugu State, and in absentia, the Governor of Oyo State, who, like my Lord said, was with us last night, but had to leave this morning in order to attend a state program in his state. My dear wife, Justice Ebrechi Suzateso Wike, Your Excellency, the former governor, and your dear wife, whom we are honoring today, my lords, justices of Supreme Court, both serving and retired that are here, the presiding justice of the Court of Appeal, Port Harcourt Division, and your brother justices from other divisions that are here. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, the Right, the Honorable Speaker of the State House of Assembly, my Lord, the Chief Judge of Rivers State, and those of Bayelsa and Imo State, the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, and judges of Rivers State High Court, and other judges from other jurisdictions, the President of the Customary Court of Appeal, and judges of the Customary Court of Appeal that are here, members of the inner bar, led by the former president of the NBA, Osiju Okocha, former ministers of justice that are here. I've seen Kano Agabi, I've seen Adoke Bello. Let me also salute other traditional rulers that are here, particularly the Chairman of the State Traditional Rulers Council, the Honorable of Opopo, and the Emir of Lafia, who also is the Chairman of Nasarawa State Traditional Council of Chiefs. And let me say to the special greeting to the Eze Pararebisi, Eze Eleku, and members of the Rebisi Council of Chiefs that are here, members of the State Executive Council, our dear leaders that are here, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. My Lord, let me, on behalf of the government and people of the state, most sincerely thank you and members of your team for honoring our invitation to be here today to commission the Federal Judicial Service Commission Liaison Office South-South and Justice Mary Audley Judicial Institute. When we sent out this invitation, because of your tight schedule, we never knew that we would get a favorable response. But thank Almighty that you sent us words that you will not be around, but that you will come back and eventually participate in this program. I most sincerely thank you. Yesterday, you came in and we had a state banquet. And of course, I thought we should start this program by 4, that you should rest very well. But you said, no, you have the capacity. Even if we said it's 8 o'clock in the morning, that you will wake up on time and be here. In fact, before we go to government house this morning, you're already waiting. I never believed that you can stay that late in the night and still come out early morning prepared for this kind of assignment. Was so happy with that. Let me also thank the Federal Judicial Service Commission through my Lord, who is the chairman. When we got a letter saying that if we can provide them a land for the building of the Commission's liaison office in charge of South in Port Harcourt, I said, there's no need of giving you land that in the next 10 years, the budget, there will be no budget to implement it. And these days, we don't give our people land when we know you will not develop it immediately. And so I told the secretary that, well, will you people allow us to develop it and hand over and make sure that it will be used? They said, well, that they believe that my tenure is coming to an end. I said, that is not your business. Just tell me that you want us to build it. In 1 year's time, we'll hand it over to you. I thank God today that has been commissioned and that has been handed over to the commission. And we're grateful that you said this should be the one in charge of the South. I'm sure what you saw this morning with your colleagues, I am aware that you are quite impressed. And when they were explaining to you the offices, in fact, from what you said, this project is for future and not now, because the number of offices you have there, I don't know whether you have that at the National Institute, number of offices, not less than 14, 15 offices there. But thank God for giving us this opportunity. And that land used to belong to, they said, is a railway corporation. As part of our urban renewal, if we pass that Forces Avenue, before OGRA, what it used to be, as you're passing along that area, you can't believe it. The whole place, I don't know where they are. I won't call them criminals because nobody has convicted them. But I suspect there are no good people there. I suspect. And I said, look, with our urban renewal, we can't allow this building to be there. It's not possible. And I wrote to them, look, we are going to take back this place and build something and change the landscape of that area. Of course, then, the former Minister of Transportation refused. I have no choice but to go there and make sure we acquire that land. And the rumor was that, oh, he's acquiring land for himself, even where we are. Because they thought, of course, if they were in my position, that is what they were going to do. But I said, look, some of us, what we're interested in is not what you think you should have for yourself, but what would benefit or contribute to the development of our state. The same thing where we are now. If anybody who knows this part of GRA, you will understand that here, the old Nigerian Airways full of bush, criminal. Okay, let me also not use the word criminals. Bad people took over this place. And one of these days I was passing, and I called my attorney general. This is the state high court. How can anybody allow this to continue to be here? I said, okay, go and check a Minister of Land who owns this property. They went and they said it was West Africa Airlines something. So I said, okay, check the records. They've never paid one dime as ground rent for over 20-something years, 30 years. I said, okay, we have been looking for where to put this judicial institute. And I thank God we have utilized the place now and see what it has turned out. See how it has changed the landscape of this area. Look at my back. See this building. Look at it. I would also use the word criminals. Bad people are staying there. I've written to NITEL. I will not allow this to be here. I won't. The state government will acquire it and do something else. Just look at. How would you allow this to be in this neighborhood? So we will not accept it. It doesn't matter the criticism anybody will say against us. What we are doing is for the interest of the state, not for our own selfish interest. Now, when this idea was in the Executive Council, also we were discussing, and the Attorney General, we asked him, listen, NJI trains our judges and magistrates. But how many judges and magistrates in a year do they train? It means that there are those that may not go for training this year, that they may go for next year. Because if you take the number of judges, both the state level and at the federal level, Federal High Court and the rest, Abuja High Court, that will be a very large number. So, how do we contribute to make sure that the number that may not be carried amongst our judicial officers and magistrates do also have regular training, so that they will meet up with the current developments as regards their job. And so argument came, oh look, why not set up our own institute that will train our judges, train our magistrates and their supporting staff. And we called the chief judge. The chief judge argued that, look, there's the one that was set by the Lagos state government, and so there's a conflict. I said there's no conflict. Actually, if Nigeria is operating a true federal system, if Nigeria operates a true federal system, our federalism is not a true federalism. It's federalism in theory, but not in actual practice. If we are to practice true federalism, there's nothing wrong in the state having their own judicial institute that will train train judges who, of course, apply the laws, preside over matters that affect the state and businesses around here. But we thank God today that the federal government, through the CJED, that what we are doing is to complement the efforts of NJI. We are not taking over the functions of NJI. We are rather complementing their efforts so that our own judges will be ahead of other states, even though we can also allow them free of charge to come here for training. If in order to also reduce the financial implication of sending most of the judges in the South here to come to Abuja, spend this money and that. You can say, okay, you have a judicial institute. We, NJI, will make sure that our judges are given training there. You are not going to pay for using here, but at least we have also saved cost. It is very, very key. And for us, it's not just a judicial institute by saying it's a judicial institute and you leave it like that. It's not going to be same. In fact, I called the Honorable Attorney General. I sometimes, they send out bill to the State Assembly. I read the front page, I say, go ahead. But from what the CJ read today, I will seek for amendment. By Monday, I will seek for amendment. There are so many things I'm not too comfortable. I'll seek for amendment. Because I want a body that, of course, you have a supervision, but it will not look like where supervision that will hamper the working of the institute. I want where the institute, just like you have the arbitration court, you have the family court and the rest, where budget is being made for them. There will be a different budget for this institute so that we know the institute is working, and whoever is going to be the administrator, which we will announce today, because we don't need to wait. We don't need to wait. So they can buy vehicles and have other things to make sure the institute has started to function. So I've decided, at least as a takeoff grant, before they will include them in the budget for next year. I have made my budget presentation. It was not included. I have told the Commissioner of Finance, now that the budget has not been approved, make sure it is included as against 2023. But for now, to start off from now till next year budget will be released, we're making a grant to them of 500 million naira so that the institute can start immediately and so we can have the full benefit. And people have talked about, when we're asking, when do we name it after at the Executive Council? I can tell you from right to left, everybody says Justice Mary Odele. And I said, why? I said, people are Shako fans. Why? You are mentioning her name because you know she's my mother, so you want to make me happy. And they said, look, check it. She's the only person in this state who has risen from the magistracy to the High Court, to the Court of Appeal, down to Supreme Court. I'm not saying that she's the only one who has been to Supreme Court, no. But I'm talking about from the magistracy to Supreme Court. And luckily retired without blemish, retired with happiness, and by her contribution. So even if, assuming, you say, okay, she's not the only one, but she has said here that she doesn't know how herself, her husband, and her family to thank us. That's what she said. So I now told her, look, okay, assuming. I told my wife, in life, people forget their background. People forget where they started from. People forget those who played enough role for them to be where they are. I have told anybody who cares, as if God planned it. When we were in law school, myself and my wife were just friends that time, ordinary friends, not anything. So somehow, that time you don't choose the court that you will go for your yes, you don't. So they published that we are going to Port Harcourt. Which court? They sent us to our court. We were 8 in number. So when we were going back to law school, she made uniform for all of us. I don't forget that uniform is still there. I still kept it. That when we came here for attachment, this was what we received. And when my wife and myself were agreed not to be ordinary friends again, that she has seen so much qualities in me. So and I said, well, me too. I won't lie to you, I've seen so much quality, but I was just keeping quiet. So now that you have now told me I have so much quality, let me tell you too, your own quality is too much. So when we now told her that we were going to marry, she took it upon herself to make sure that marriage went on very well. She came with the husband, everybody. In fact, it was like a state marriage. Those of you who never had opportunity of having a state marriage, I had an opportunity of having a state marriage. I don't know which politician in this state that never attended that marriage. And look at our political life. The husband made sure. And I believe, even though she was doing her own work, but the kind of support they gave us. But I will never forget the incident where enemies had plotted that I will not run for second tenure as chairman of local government. These same people now fighting me in Abuja, they are the same people that did it that time. So we have done primaries and I had won, thinking that the right thing will be done. Somebody called me from Abuja, look, your name is not in the list. I said, how? The primaries have won. I went berserk. But see how God works. I ran to government house to see her. Luckily, she has finished eating with the husband, and she was going to body camp where we have now 6th division to do this tap for the wives of our army officers. So as she was entering her car, I said, Mommy, they removed my name. She said, ah. I said, they said my name is not there. She now ran up and told the husband, your son said they removed it. He said, how does he do? He said, the man who did it, I won't call his name, but all of you know. This gate, that was the only gate that to leading you to government house. That time he has not built the new government house. We are still using the brick house. So he told, stop the chairman, stop the chairman. They now stopped the chairman. He came back. He didn't know whose name is Obiabo local government. He started stammering. He said, whose name is there? He said, sir, I don't think it's Wike, it's who? So he now called Obulafo, who was the national secretary of the party, and now said, look, whose name is in Obiabo local government? He said, it's one Amadi. Who's Amadi? He said, no, this is the man who won. In any case, I'm coming to Abuja now. He went to Abuja, took the list by himself, and came back. That was how I got back my ticket and became second-term chairman of Obiabo. And look at it. If these evil people that time had stopped me, you don't know what would have happened, whether I would have been here today or not. But that was how I was catapulted from there. But what is important to me, there's no politician today, whether you are living in Abuja, whether you are living in Port Harcourt, whether you are living in Kano, where you are from Rivers, can say that they never benefited or passed through Dr. Peter Odili. Let me see that politician. Let me see that politician. All of us benefited, whether you want to be speaker, whether you want to be governor, whether anything, minister. He was the one who made sure everybody got whatever was supposed to get. And for me, yes, I will thank God, but God uses people to uplift men. God doesn't come down. God will use somebody to say, look, through this person, you will grow. And so for me and my family, we are very grateful to you and your family for your role in our life, for the way you took us as your children. We believe God is infinite mercy will continue to keep you and your family. And we felt that, apart from the fact that you merited it, but adding to the fact that your son is the governor, I am the person that will decide. When another person comes, decide their own. Me as governor, I have decided. I'm backed by the Executive Council of the Rivers State government. And my Lord, let me on behalf of my wife and my family congratulate you, because I don't believe it's only when somebody dies you go and give posthumous award. No, I don't agree. When people have served and they are alive, recognize them then. Don't wait. And thank God you are alive and you are being recognized. And that is the way God wants it. My Lord, our special guest of honor, I once again thank you to say that none of these projects, not one, has taken us more than a year, not one. All the projects are built the same time. The same time. The same time. I have never done projects of 3 years, 2 years. It's not in our character. Any project I cannot complete in 12 months' time, I will not award it. Because I know our economy, inflation will be there every day. And people will be bringing paper for variation. And that's why when you say the truth, people will want to turn it anyhow. I didn't know that when you thank people publicly, it's a bad thing. I was thinking when you thank people publicly, that even you will get more things. I said that look, people should help me and thank Buhari. That if he did not give me the money that they are owing, I may not have done all this. And that was what you know what I said? I never said any state, whether you discounted, it did not discount. I never said so. All I said, thank Buhari. That he approved this money that if people refuse to pay to the states. And I said Niger Delta states. But all of us will know Niger Delta states. Who doesn't know the states that make up Niger Delta? I didn't say NDDC states. There are difference between NDDC states and Niger Delta states. Ondo is an NDDC state. Ondo is not a state in Niger Delta. Abia is an NDDC state. It's not a state in Niger Delta. The Niger Delta states are Cross River State, Akwa Ibom State, Rivers State, Bayelsa, Delta, and Edo State. So all of us do. So I didn't come now to say you give. I never said any state should give account. It's your business with your people. All I said, thank President Buhari. And if people are angry, I say so. Please thank him more. Thank him more. Man, I'm not afraid. Thank him more. The only thing that, I don't go to Abuja, I don't go to the villa. But this is the only opportunity I have. Some people go in the night. Me, I don't go day and night. So the only thing I have is this national television. President Buhari, maybe nobody has told you. Let me use the opportunity now. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, thank you. Thank you. If I sent message, it was a problem, then let me use my mouth. And through channels, through TVC, LTA, and AIT, President, thank you. Thank you. You've done well. So on that basis, let me call as special guest of honor, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, to please come and address these people and then commission this Justice Mary of the Judicial Institute. Thank you and God bless you.